Life was great for our next guest. She had a great career as an actor in New York and LA, working in TV and film, and she also did commercials and game shows. So when she had a baby, she expected her joy would be complete. But that didn't happen. So Megan Shorman wrote a book called Babies Are the Worst, and she's here now to explain that. Welcome, Megan. It's so good to have you here. Now, the title is actually Babies Are the Worst, a memoir about motherhood, PPD, and beyond, or I could have just read it off one of your books. So what happened when your baby was born?
Oh gosh, a lot. I was very excited about becoming a mother. I'd always wanted to be one. It's something I looked forward to. And then things just were very different than I expected. I mean, starting with labor and delivery, I ended up having an emergency C-section after pushing for 7 hours.
Oh.
So that was quite the adjustment and getting used to it, and then the lack of sleep. And I think it happened immediately for me, where there was just a hormonal imbalance that I didn't recognize, especially because people talk about baby blues and you expect to feel unbalanced those first couple of weeks. And so I just kept dismissing everything that I was experiencing and thinking, this will go away, this will go away. And then it just sort of didn't.
Now, you say you weren't terribly sad in the book. You say, what did you feel?
Oh gosh, you know, I've always equated, I never experienced mental illness until this happened.
Oh.
So I wasn't aware of just the spectrum of symptoms that you can have. So I always equated depression with sadness. And I didn't feel sad. I didn't feel happy. I just kind of felt nothing. It was just this feeling of nothingness. And I talk about in the book, my family, we've been going lobster diving in the Florida Keys for the past...
Skin diving? What did you call it?
Skin diving. I made it sound a little more scandalous. Which relates to my acting career, but not, because that sounds like I was scandalous.
Yeah, that got
scandalous. There's, you know, things you put on your resume, right? Where you're like, I'm good with the tickle stick. And people are like, what's a tickle stick? Nobody knows what that is if you're outside of Florida. So then it opens up conversation.
Oh, sure.
But I do talk about how just being depressed felt like being underwater to me. It kind of muffled my life experiences. So I just didn't feel particularly anything. And I expected to feel just this magical happiness and like this glow of being a mother.
That's the way I felt.
Did that make it worse that you didn't feel what you had thought you should feel, that joy?
Yeah, so ashamed because my son is the perfect person and for our family. Just, he is such a light and a bright, wonderful being. And I thought, why am I not feeling the things that I should be feeling?
How did you get help?
Oh gosh, you know, it took me nearly a year before I realized I needed to get help, because I just started feeling really angry about people that were happy. Like you said, you felt that. And I was like, why didn't I get that experience?
Yeah.
So I ended up, I was living in Los Angeles at the time, like the land of therapy. And I still felt really ashamed and nervous about calling and saying, I'm a new mom, I need to talk to somebody. But I ended up just like going down a list that my insurance had and asking, do you guys specialize in any postpartum conditions? And then I just found a therapist that I could talk to. And then once I started talking to her, I realized, oh, this is a lot deeper than I thought. I thought I just needed to process that first month, which was so dark for me, but things had just sort of stayed dark, and I didn't realize how deep it had gotten.
And I think I read a portion of the book too, and to realize how normal your life can appear to be, especially for you as an actress. You can kind of almost go through the motions and fake it, but you know, I was very fortunate. I didn't have any baby blues other than exhaustion that first month, but no baby blues. And to realize how many people might be going through the baby blues without recognizing it, because their life does look good and things seem okay, and you went to Sunday brunch and you don't realize you're...
And you didn't have the blues. It wasn't, that wasn't a good description of how you felt.
Right. I didn't feel, I mean, I did in the beginning cry a lot. And then I started to just hide how I was feeling. Like you're saying, like I just kind of put on the emotions that I felt that I should be experiencing. And there was a picture I posted on Facebook, and it was one of those newborn pictures, and I'm holding, actually my husband's holding my son, and we're looking, and we're like, oh, isn't he beautiful? But really, and I talk about this in the book, what you don't see what's happening is we're like, I'm so tired. I just can't, I can't start crying because then I'm going to ruin my makeup. We're going to have to do this all over again. Like I just felt miserable. But everyone saw that picture and they thought, oh, she's so happy. And I think part of why I posted that picture is because I wanted to be that picture. It was creating a narrative for myself, not just for everybody else.
So why did you write the book?
You know, I've always written. I went to the University of Florida. I majored in English before I went off to be an actor. And writing has just always been my form of therapy before I found a therapist. So once I went through that whole process and got well, I just wanted to sort of write it out for myself. And then I started talking to other people about what I was writing. And I was realizing, oh, I'm not the only person who felt this way. And I think that that was part of my my shame, is that I didn't talk about it. And I feel like the more that we do talk about it, the more people are going to realize they're not alone in feeling this, sometimes a facade or the sadness or the nothingness.
Now you have 2 children?
I do have
Oh,
2
how's
children.
this going now? How are you doing now?
You know, that's one of the things I hope the book gives to people is hope. Because when my son was born, I thought, oh, that's it, I'm done. Never having another child. And then I got help and I got better. And my experience with having my daughter was very different. I mean, it's what I had hoped was going to happen when I originally became a mother. So I just, you know, there's an epilogue and it talks about how things can be different. And I think that's the whole point, is that if we talk about things, if we seek the help that we need, then we can have the things that we
And it's very readable.
Thank you so
It's
much.
Very, very readable.
And of course, it
good
comes out on
voice.
Amazon today. You can already get it by going to her website. And it's Babies Are the Worst, a memoir about motherhood, PPD, and beyond. And go to her website, meganschulman.com.